Welcome to this week's painting update. I've been quite busy this week, so let's dive straight in. Okay, let's start with the fantasy stuff. Here's some new dungeon furniture I've put together to fill gaps in the collection. The two skull fountains at the back are from Scotia Grendel, as are the little raised plinth things. Very useful pieces, the plinths. I've got some sets already, but I wanted some that I could paint to match my new dungeon flooring. These are ancient pieces, originally Fantasy Forge, came out in the very early 90s or possibly even late 80s. I've got a catalogue somewhere I can check. At the back is this really nice portal from Zealot Miniatures, who also did the three little portcullises at the front. This portal, as you can see, has a removable printed acetate center, which means you get a see-through mystical effect, which is really nice. Very pleased with these. Initially I went looking for the portcullis archways because I had some metal ones that I got rid of recently because they're so difficult to store. If you put them in with the resin doors, they just damage them. They were early Grenadier pieces, so very pleased to find these. Very lightweight, lovely, easy to use, and a good little addition to the dungeon library. Okay, on to the science fiction. So my Rebel Star project is nearly complete as far as the miniatures go now. I painted up the last of the Raiders, the red team. They have an extra figure. They have Joe Capricorn as a hero. So 6 red Raiders altogether. I'm going to take these off as I go because to be able to better see everyone else. Those off. Those are Reaper Bones miniatures. Again, not terribly impressed with them. They aren't very well detailed. There's a lot of infill on those. Because I needed to get to free postage, don't we always need to get to free postage when we order miniatures? I ordered 2 more server droids, which are Reaper Miniatures Tin Men from their Chronoscope range, and they're metal. They're very nice miniatures. I like them. So I was originally going to have 4 server droids, and I cut it down to 2 because I had 2, but now I'm back to 4. So 2 more servo droids, and then I've painted 2 sentry droids. Going to balance them up here as well. There we go. I've got 2 of these already, so this gives me my full complement of 4 sentry droids. These are little gun turrets from Scotia Grendel, old Fantasy Forge Cryomech miniatures. Really nice, I think. I just love the styling on these, and they're nice texture, easy to paint. So and they really do look like the miniature, not miniatures. They look like the sprites from the game. Great little things. Okay, 2 of them. Put them away. Right, from Blots, who are a little company that do MDF, I got my droid repair bays. There's 2 of them. I've stuck them back to back because putting things against the walls here, as you can see, because the walls are all decorated in my moon base, that's very difficult. So sticking them back to back means they can be placed sort of in the middle of a room as an object. So again, very simple, moon base grey with some pale blue highlights, which is my my color scheme for this. Keep the background things in the background. So they're really nice. They droid repair bay. It repairs droids. Good stuff. Eh? And lastly, this is my algae tank. This is my hydroponics installation that feeds the moon base. Lovely healthy shade of green. This is from Tablescape. It's a little resin piece. They supply their stuff painted. I repainted this so it matches my grey moon base, and I added the bubbles, with some little beads. That's dead easy. I'm going to make some lava pieces for my Phantasy Star project and for sort of general dungeon use, and I'm hoping to do a little project video on that, so I'll show you how to do those. Really simple. So there we go. That's the sci-fi stuff for my Moonbase. Right, well, these are a bit different. These are some pirate miniatures from Dread Street Miniatures. The chap from the company contacted me and said would I be interested in painting them, because they thought they'd like some painted by me. Don't ask me why, but here they are. They are, as you can see, a strange mixture of people, but quite fun. So this two-headed guy is would have been very useful for my Fantasy Yarth campaign, where I had a two-headed character, but he came along too late. Then there's the sort of maid, excuse me, thumbs, fingers, with her pot kicking. There's the archetypal pirate. He's got a patch and a hook and a wooden leg, and he's leaping into the fight, whatever. And then there's a drinking woman with a pistol. So there we go, 4 28mm fantasy pirates from Dread Street Miniatures. And to round the week off, here are my rescued miniatures. These all come from my drawers of old fantasy miniatures from long ago, early 90s for the most part, and I've decided with these either I'm going to rebase them to match my current sets of miniatures, or I'm going to get rid of them. So these are the ones I opted to rebase. So I didn't paint any of them, but you know, it's still hobby work, right? So let's start with the ones in the middle that are kind of blocking the view. This is a Ratham Lich or White or something. It was, as you can see, always was a statue, but it was on a fairly horrible base. So all I've done with this is I've just changed the bottom of its base, which was very unstable, to some MDF round bases, and painted them to match my normal stonework. So he's now quite an imposing piece. I'll just move him as well. We'll clunk, take them off as we go. Next to him, couple of Ratham gargoyles. Again, they were on little statue bases. I've based them on a couple of corks and some MDF circles to make them fit in a bit more, because they're nice pieces, and there they are. So they were dead quick, right? Just glued them together and things. Then at the back here, this is a Scotia Grendel archway. This was painted by my good friend Simon Webb, and all I did with this was I painted the base. It had a green painted base, so I just redid the base to make it match my current stuff. This is very nice. When you get this bit here is flat, and Simon actually carved it, which is good of him. So yeah, now I've got a useful archway. Put him to one side. All right, front and center, big black pit fiend, I think, from Ralpartha. Quite a weird model, this, I think. He's a bit static and he's a bit goofy looking, but he was nice enough. So again, he just got the basing treatment. I don't know, I think he's quite comical looking. If I use him in a game, I might give him a sense of humour. So there we go, painted him a long time ago. This is a Ralpartha Pegasus. Again, this one's painted by Simon Webb again. Lovely rainbow wings, so I decided to keep this. Got to have a Pegasus somewhere along the line. I know, technically Pegasus was the name of the winged horse, not the sort of entire breed. Let's just be finicky about that, shall we? Anyway, so this is not Pegasus, this is a rainbow winged horse. Lovely nonetheless. To go with that, Ralpartha Unicorn. I painted this one. Goes to my winged unicorn that I rescued last week before, whenever it was. I think now I've got as many winged horses with or without horns that I need, so any that I find subsequent to this better be very special to me, or they will go in the getting rid of pile. Next is, oh, here we go, look, that's a little Mithril Throne from their Middle Earth range. It was part of a shrine. I've taken the shrine apart, gave it a couple of little round bases. Now I can just plonk it down in any room I want. Nice little piece. Who's next? This one. Okay, so Ralpartha again. Some form of sun god. Helios, probably not Apollo. I'll stick him near my Greek sets. Can always do with a sort of celestial being hanging around. He was originally based more elaborately with some sun horses and things for that whole Greek sun god look. So he's very nice. Quite pleased with the way I painted him, so I've kept him. This is, isn't she lovely? I'm going to put the fox there as well. Okay, so this is a Phoenix 54mm figure for Dancer Girl. This was my Aphrodite for my Greek set, and again she was based with the fox, so I took him apart. He gets his own little base, so he can be a fox familiar or something, and she can twirl about in all her loveliness on her own. I was thinking the other day of getting more of these because they do a sort of Atlantis range. They're still available. Lovely figures, fun to paint. And lastly, wow, the mystery. I don't know who makes this. I've never known who made this, obviously. I haven't just forgotten. This is a massive lump of metal. It's very crudely made. It's got, hang on, can we do this? Yeah, so it's got teeth and a maw, and it's got tentacles, and it's got eyes, and I've given it a little bushy fur, and it's a very old figure. Some sort of, demon Cthulhu-esque thing, but not from any of the main companies I'm familiar with. So if anyone knows who makes this, I'd be interested to find out. Okay, there we go. So that's the rescued ones for this week. Well, that's it for this week. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.